Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It's Thursday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone of the USA. It's 1930 Zulu on February 3rd, 2022. It's time for the Manufacturer Showcase. And as many of you know, DX Engineering represents over 160 different manufacturers that we have in our store. And we try to have all the product on the shelf ready to go. So if you want it, you can get it quick. And today we have a very special guest. It's Dwayne, WD8OYG, and he is the co-owner of LDG Electronics. Hello, Dwayne.
Hi, Tim. It's
And
great to be here.
Dwayne, we're very happy to have you on. LDG tuners and meters are extremely popular. And we are very proud to have you as one of our manufacturers. Tell us a little bit about the company.
Well, the company was started in 1995 by three engineers. It was Larry, Dwayne, and Gene, and that's where the LDG came from. And just shortly after we got started, Larry had moved, and we already had the letterhead, so we kept it. And then Gene had retired a few years after that, and then me and my wife have been running the company, gosh, probably for 22 years now by ourselves.
Wow. And, thousands of tuners later, right, Dwayne? And you have been tuning amateur radio antennas. Talk about some of the early products that you had. Walk us through that.
Well, the very first product that we had was a microprocessor. We did a single board computer. Was based on the Motorola 68 HC11 processor back in the 90s. And we needed a development board to develop tuners and products. And there just wasn't anything out there. So we had to develop the tools so we could develop the products. So we did the single board computer, and we had a 2K version, 2K of memory. Can you believe that? And an 8K memory version, back in the 90s. And that was the first two products that LDG had. And then we use those products to develop our meters and our tuners and watt meters and pretty much everything else up until the 2000s. And then we switched over to microchip products. So, and then we use PIC chips in most of our products nowadays.
So show us some products. Show us some new stuff. What do you got there, Dwayne?
Okay, well, we've got a couple things. Well, let me look at this meter here. We talked about meters first. I could light this up, but this is a new meter that's coming out this spring, I would say. It's an MC7600. It's a color meter. It's got color background LEDs for backlighting, and it shows the S meter and RF power from your IC7600 radio. See, another product we have coming out soon is a 49-to-1 balun. Let me get real close there. And this is I'm sorry. This has got a 49-to-1 transformation ratio, and it's a pretty good unan for short antennas and small confined spaces. We've been selling this in Europe for a few months, and it's been doing very well over there. And we're going to bring it to the United States probably in about a month or so, and it's been doing really, really well.
What kind of power can that balun handle?
All the LDG ununs and baluns go up to 200 watts PEP. So it's really designed for a 100 watt HF radio.
Okay.
And then last summer, we came out with the Z100A, which was a reincarnation of the IT7000 and a combination of the IT100. And both of those have been discontinued, but those two were ICOM radios, go to ICOM radios. Mm-hmm. And this new Z100A is we've changed some of the connections on the back and the way that it connects up to radios, and we have more cables for various radios that'll work with ICOM, Yaesu, Kenwood, Alinco. We even have generic cables now, so you can use the tuner with any radio. You could use it with a QRP 5-watt radio if you just hooked DC power up to the tuner and then gave it some power.
Right. What else you got there in the candy store?
Well, this is our flagship unit here. This is the big 1,000-watt tuner,
Mhm.
and this does 1,000 watts PEP and about 500-600 watts CW and about 300 watts digital. So this is our big tuner here. It's got an antenna switch on the back, so you can switch between two different antennas, and also connects up to multiple radios.
That's very nice. Dwayne, tell me about what has happened with tuners and FT8. You know, the duty cycle of
Yes.
the digital modes.
Yeah, that's a great question. FT8 took a lot of people by surprise when it came to duty cycles, and because it's the time on and then the time off is about, was it 15 seconds, I think.
Yes.
So you end up with 15 seconds of continuous duty time. So, and even though it's off the 15 seconds after that, by the time that you get to 15 seconds, you still have to count that as continuous duty because it's been on
Right.
continuously for that amount of time. So it may be burned up at the end of the 15 seconds. So you have to make sure that everything is within the power range of what you're transmitting before you transmit. So we ended up with a 30-watt digital limit on our 100-watt tuners because that's the same as about AM radio. AM when you transmit with a carrier,
Right.
or FM, with a 100% duty cycle. So we ended up with a 30% rating on that. But here recently, we've been thinking about upping that to 50 watts because we've really not seen many problems with people running 30 watts through our tuners on FT8. And I think it's because of that 15 seconds on and then 15 seconds off. Then there's enough time there. If it was completely continuous, we would say just run 30 watts. But FT8, I think it's going to be 50 watts is where this is going to end up on LDG tuners. Everybody else got their own ratings.
So it's a brave new world, but a very, very popular. And we just want to make sure that we're telling our customers, what the ratings are. It's supposed to be a low power mode, but everybody's been turning the knob up.
I think the recommendation is 20 watts, if I'm not mistaken. That's what the design was for. And we do see a lot of people running 100 watts FT8 now. So we recommend the AT200 tuner with a 200-watt PEP. And that'll handle 100 watts continuous no matter what, even in FM. And that just gives people a peace of mind that there's no way they're going to, it's well within the range on FT8. So the 200-watt tuner is really the more popular one for that mode.
So we're on here today with Dwayne from LDG Electronics. And if you have any questions about LDG tuners, now is your chance in the chat room. And Dwayne, there are some comments here. Dino, KL0S, says lots of locals here in Virginia love their LDG tuners. Great customer support. Let's see. George asked, where are your products produced?
Well, the parts are global. We get parts from all over the world. Our PC boards are manufactured in Taiwan, and then the final assembly is done in the United States. So we do all the quality control, all the final tests, all the final setups, and all the final checks before it goes out to the user.
Great. And Aaron, Whiskey 8 Victor India Papa, says LDG makes awesome tuners, balance, etc. Great company. And thanks for DX Engineering to carry them. And we're very proud to carry the LDG line. Let's see. Do we have other questions here? Oh, Don says, question for Dwayne. Are they going to come out with a replacement for the RT600?
That's a really good question. We get that a lot. Yes, eventually. Probably not this year.
Okay, that's good. And Paul says, I'm still using my AT100 Pro. That's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Papa. And Rob, He says, big hello from England. He has the LDG 200 and the 600, great tuners. And he ran them with the G5 RV. And of course, Rob operates Mobile, and one of the best mobile signals you'll ever hear on the bands. And let's see here. We have New Delhi. Let's see if we. Don says he picked up a used AT600 Pro about 4 years ago and have had no problems. A great tuner. And Tom over in England says, I really wish LDG still made the auto ATU for the Alinco DX70, as I need one for my second DX70, the one I use on my mobile station, a fantastic unit, 6 years of constant use without missing a beat. So that's really a great statement about the LDG tuner. Let's see, we have Karan says, do you have a plan to come up with a 1500 watt or a 2 kilowatt rating in a manual meter for view?
Now that we do get that question even more than the 600 watt question, because everybody wants to run 1500 watts.
Right.
Right now we don't. Designing products is an art form, and you have to be aware of the parts that you have available to build the product. And right now, if we were to build a 1500 watt tuner, we would do it like the Powstar tuner, like the AT Auto, with a roller inductor and a stepper motor, and servos and stuff like that. But I have heard that there are some new relays coming out maybe this summer that will have higher power capability at an affordable price that might be able to fit into a tuner. So we're always looking at what the parts are and where we can push the envelopes on our product line. So we're always looking at it, and I think it's we're getting close to where we might be able to say, yeah, I think we can do it now within our design constraints. But right now, no, we don't have anything. I would say I would use the Powstar. I've used it; it's a great tuner, and that's what we would recommend.
So Joe is on from Belfast over in Northern Ireland, Germany, India 4, Germany, India Delta. Anything further on my LDG AT1000 Pro tuner?
That looks like a tech support question. I mean, a service question. I'm sure we have. If we have it, then it has been months, and everybody's got the same problems with shipping and delays and parts coming in. And hang in there, Joe. We'll get it.
All right. And Paul says, what will happen if I run 50 watts in FT8 with my AT100 Pro? Should I be lowering it to 30 from what you said earlier?
Well, 20 is the recommended from the designer of FT8. You should run 20 watts if that's what the world says. But if you want to run higher than power than that, then you can run 50 watts. I think we just said that you can run 50 watts on FT8 on your AT100 Pro. Okay. So that's allowable. I don't think anything will happen. I think it'll just operate.
And Jeff says, I still operate my FT100 with the LDG YT100 for my camping setup, still in use after 7 years using a random end-fed antenna with a balun. So sounds like it's working good for him. That's November 3 Echo Victor November. And Jeff, nice to have you on. Dwayne, this has been great having you come on and talk about some of the new products. And we're certainly here at DX Engineering very proud to have LDG as a partner. And I want to thank you for coming on today. And it sounds like we've taken care of the chat room and answered the questions. And Dwayne, we wish you continued success.
Well, thank you very much. We look forward to working with you. I know we always do some specials at Dayton. We put some banners up and some cross-promoting advertising. So I look forward to doing that again this year.
Yep, we will definitely do that. And keep making the good stuff, and keep tuning the the feed lines and the antennas, and let's keep it going. And thanks to all of you today for watching, and those of you that will take a look at the recording later on as well on YouTube. And we'll see you tomorrow for the weekend special on Friday. Until then, 73 from DX Engineering.